Welcome back to JH Diesel. We are back here working on our Project 78 here. 78 Chevy going on a Cummins chassis with a Cummins diesel engine. Justin's about to help massage the firewall a little bit, get this thing massaged where it needs to be. So the back of this, it would actually fit just fine. We have a coolant bypass on there, keeps the cylinder temps down, EGTs down, everything. Well, I guess really just coolant temps, not EGTs. Keeps coolant temps down. The back cylinders are common for burning up. So we had to clearance it a little bit for that because we did move the engine back 5 inches. And at the same time, as soon as he's done with that, the engine can be pulled out. All our measurements has been taken for drive shafts and stuff. We'll get the engine out, get this frame nice and clean and prepped because it is gonna need it. We want it to look good underneath here. We don't want it to look rough at all. So that's our next step we got going on right now. Freaking, dude, this thing is going so good. This project is, just can't wait to get this thing running. I'm fired up about it. So we should get it back though. So this episode, we're gonna get the frame all cleaned up, get it painted, and probably get the engine, trans, and everything set back in the truck and start putting the cab and everything on it. I don't know we'll get that far, but we're at least gonna get this frame nice, clean, and ready to go.
My baby girl, we got her sitting back down on the frame and everything clears with no problems. Everything clears the firewall, the turbo, which of course we knew the turbo already cleared. We've got tons of room up here now. I think the radiator will go in no problem, and the fans. Everything clears over here. It's tight back there, but it does definitely clear. So at this point, I'm gonna pull the cab back off it, pull the transfer case back out of it, get this thing cleaned up. And moving it back, as you can see, the hood's gonna clear, no problem. So all in all, I am very happy. All in all, for a first wash, that came out pretty good. I'm of course gonna spray it down again with degreaser and wash it again, but so far, it's coming out pretty clean. There was a lot of grease up here, and it took a lot of that grease off. So I think 1 or 2 more pressure washes, we'll have it nice and clean. Went ahead and got all the rust scraped off it, and then I went ahead and prepped it with rust stop. Got it all wiped down with that. Did the fenders, core support, and the bottom of the cab. So everything's all sealed up now. I've got a rust hole here I'm gonna fix once I pull the carpet out of it. I'll repair that. But everything's wiped down or brushed down. You can see it's kind of shiny now. It's all encapsulated. So hopefully We won't have any more rust continuing to grow. And we're still going to go ahead and undercoat the bottom of the cab. We're going to paint the fenders and the core support. And then I think the firewall, I think we're just going to clear the firewall. Just clear coat it, kind of keep it looking rusty and patinaed. That would match the rest of the truck.
Well guys, we are still on our way with this thing. So today we're gonna get the frame painted, get the cab undercoated, maybe the bed. We forgot to do the bed, so we'll do that last, but we're gonna get the cab undercoated and painted. We're gonna get the frame completely painted and then get it back in, get the cab back on it, get the engine back in it, and we are gonna have us a project on the way. It is coming along super nice. So guys, let me get the paint in this thing. It's gonna take me a little bit. We're doing some rattle can paint jobs, some good Rust-Oleum paint. Should hold up just fine for what we're doing. We're not trying to make this thing a show truck by any means, but I used to rattle can my daily driver back in the day when it was lifted and everything else. This stuff would last for months, so I don't think it's gonna be an issue to show up good on this thing. So here we go. Get us some paint work done on this thing. Make it look fresh. Get rid of all this old, broken, and busted, because all the welding so far, we're good. We don't need anything else. We should be good to go. Dang. So we're pretty much done with painting the frame. Everything is nice, shiny gloss. I was gonna do flat black. When I started buying the paint, I said it just doesn't feel right. I wanted the thing to shine underneath. And when you guys see the finished product on the truck, the bed, all that stuff, you'll go, I see what you guys did there. It's gonna look really good. So we are on the way with it. It is very close to being done. Justin's getting all the nooks and crannies. And then right now, I'm gonna start undercoating the cab. We got some undercoat. I got most of the cab taped off where I'm worried about, you know, the spray going through the other side and stuff like that. So I got most of the cab taped off there. And I got my lines taped, so it should go pretty smooth, hopefully, and get this thing undercoated. It's already been Osvo'd, so the rust should stop. And we'll get that undercoating on there and see how she looks. Man, so we knocked this out. The engine compartment is almost done. We're gonna leave that and we're gonna clear it. I just kind of like the OG red paint on there, so we're gonna try to leave that and clear it. If it doesn't work out, we can always paint it flat black. We went ahead and undercoated this with some just store-bought undercoating. It did okay. Got rid of all of our rust. We Osvo'd it and then obviously sprayed it with the undercoating, so it's like a rubberized undercoating. Hopefully it's all good. We have no issues with it, but we may give a little touch-up paint of flat black on there, but this turned out killer. We do stuff to modify that, we know that, but either way, we figured let's just get our fenders painted and get all that stuff done. And then the frame, as you guys saw, is looking freaking fresh. We're gonna leave it outside, let it set up in the sun. But she's looking like a new truck. Anyways, so there we are right now. We're gonna start putting the engine back in the frame, get the cab back on the frame, and hopefully at this point, start getting everything together. This is technically gonna be final assembly for the cab. Yeah, this will be final assembly for the cab. So we're gonna get the engine thrown in, get the cab on it, get our steering hooked up, pull the truck around to our little area in the back, and then really start getting everything else knocked out on it and done. So let's see what happens. Dude, I'm firing myself. I was vacuuming some of the rust out of this thing, and this thing just started making a real weird noise. I think it's about to blow up. I think something's on fire. It ain't smelling too good. Anybody ever seen this happen? Holy. Trying to get the rust out of the bed. You know it's bad when you blew up the shop vac. So you know you have a problem. Well, guys, we got it back in the shop here, and it is coming along. We didn't want to repeat a bunch of stuff. You guys already saw us put the engine in before, got it all mocked up, did all that stuff. So basically right now, we've got our cab, which has been freshened up. We got our frame here, which has been freshened up. Everything is sitting in the frame right now. It is completely bolted in. We pulled the injection pump off. We went ahead and resealed the side cover. We pulled the turbo off, resealed the manifold where we had a small leak. So we did all that stuff. I just didn't see a need for you guys to sit here and go through everything once again, since you guys have seen it all. Starter, we had to pull a spacer plate out of there, and we're getting a couple other things dialed in. We're about to put the fuel tank in it, which is this whole assembly here. We'll get this thing cleaned up, get it installed in the truck, and then once we get the fuel tank in it, this cab can finally come down for hopefully the last time, and we can get this thing dialed in. We got some fresh cab mounts to put on it, so we'll probably do some adjustments on the bed side and the cab side. Not a big deal, but guys, we are this close to getting the cab set down. Literally put the fuel tank in it and get this thing set down on her, and then once we get the steering hooked up, we'll get it pushed back into our area that we normally work on the trucks at, and then get our shop space cleared back up for the guys. So transmission's about to leave to go get built. That is about to happen also, which is pretty cool, pretty epic. Get that thing done, and then the drive shafts are getting done also. So maybe by the end of the week we could have a driving truck, maybe next week. Either way, I'm not going to rush it. We've taken our time with a lot of stuff on it. Took a little bit longer, but we only want to do this one time. We don't want to do it twice. So let's get the cab back on it and get it rolled in the back, where that'll be its final assembly place. How's this feel? Good. Hopefully tighten it down for one last time here.
Real good.
All fresh cab mounts, bushings, everything is fresh. So should be good there. We already got the back started, so we're starting the front now, and then we'll do the middles.
We got fresh bushings, fresh bolts, fresh paint, fresh rust.
Truck's coming together. Well, she is back out in the sunlight and is looking, well, it's a gloomy day, but it's outside the shop. First time we've had the cab 100% bolted down and set the engine exactly where it's going to be. Everything is looking like it actually fits. Now we get to start on the assembly in the front. So guys, we're going to call it at that episode right now of our 78 Chevy project with the Cummins frame swap. It's coming along pretty freaking good. This thing is going to be pretty epic. Got a lot done on it. It is coming right along. Now it's going to go back to where we normally work on stuff for our channel and basically get the cab completely buttoned up before we even think about messing with the bed. So everything, this truck should be running, driving, the whole nine, and then we'll have the bed basically ready to go on it, but we have to straighten that frame out. So that'll be the last thing we got to worry about. So guys, we're going to call it there. Thank you so much for watching the Jay Cecil channel. We will see you next time.